Welcome to Paranormal Punchers, a lighthearted podcast discussing anything paranormal. From Bigfoot to haunted locations, our hosts, Mark and Dave, break down a paranormal story and give you their uneducated but honest and spirited opinions. Here's our hosts, Mark and Dave.
Thank you, and welcome to Paranormal Punchers. I'm Mark.
I'm Dave.
And this is episode 1. Super excited. Thanks, Liz, for the introduction. Even though I think we made you do it like 4 or 5 times because I was being a little fuss bucket about it. So on tonight's episode, we are talking about the Dyatlov Pass incident.
Yeah.
That happened in the Ural Mountains in Russia. Did I say that right?
Close, I think.
Close enough? Dyatlov Pass.
Yep.
Now, Dave, this was literally 2 weeks ago. We were having a beer at Mix over the holiday break. Mm-hmm. You told me about this. I knew nothing about this, and you sent me down a wormhole.
I did that.
Yeah. I mean, not a wormhole. That's good enough. I was going to say a rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. Looking up about the weird mystery surrounding this whole incident. So before I get too geeked out, Dave, why don't you just kind of give everybody an overview of this?
Yeah, so this is something I came across online, and while I was reading into it, it really struck a chord with me to research some more and started talking to you about it. Basically, this group of hikers, I think there was 9 of them. They went out in the Ural Mountains on this skiing trip, and they were fine for a while. And then there was actually 10 at the start. One had to turn back, and he was fine. But then a few weeks later, those 9 never came back, and they found the bodies and. Yeah, something happened to him.
Yeah, so this took place in February of 1959. Now, let's get into this. So these 9 kids went out hiking. They were going up to in the Ural Mountains. What was the name of the mountain peak? I think it was called Death Mountain. The Mansi tribe, the native tribes out there in Russia, they gave it that name. I think it's called like Mountain of Death or Death Mountain.
Okay,
you can look that up on Wikipedia. Don't quote me.
Mm-hmm.
We're just shooting the shit here. But they were found. All these nine hikers were dead, but they found their tent. And I guess after forensics got through with it, it was cut from the inside, all kinds of like knife holes.
Right. They weren't found in their tent. I think that's important to say that they were found around their tents, out in the woods surrounding their tents. Their tents were out in an open field, and the tents had been cut open from the inside. So somehow something made them decide to flee their tents and go into the woods.
Yeah, flee in such a manner that there is no time to unzipper this sumbitch.
Right.
I'm going to cut a hole in the side of the tent and run. Mm-hmm. Now, so I think they found a group of them like a mile away.
Something like that.
Right at the tree line.
Right, yes, the tree line.
And then they found a couple spread out from that initial group.
Right.
So, the theories say that they all fled the tent. Mm-hmm. As a group to the tree line,
right,
which is like a mile from their tent. Yep. And then something caused more to scatter.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They had no gear on. They were not prepared to go out into the night. Whenever this happened, they were in stages of partial dress, and I believe 6 of them had died from hypothermia. So it was, they definitely were, died from the cold. They weren't prepared for the cold, whatever made them flee in terror.
So, okay, right now I'm thinking, all right, why would you cut holes in your tent? Mm-hmm. Now, one theory, and there's a lot of different theories, everybody. One is avalanche. Mm-hmm. Maybe the avalanche came down and somehow some of the snow was covering the front of the tent, so they cut holes in the side of the tent to get out. Or in an avalanche, they're like, it is much faster to cut a hole in the tent and run the hell out. Could explain why, they were not dressed properly,
right?
To run out into, what was it, like 20 degrees, 17 below,
right? This is high up in the mountains
in Russia.
Yeah, Now it's interesting. The avalanche theory, there was no signs of an avalanche. So while they might have thought it was an avalanche, and that triggered it, it does not appear that there was actually an avalanche.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, okay, this is the one theory. Obviously, you know which theory I'm leaning towards.
Yep.
We'll get there. But here's one theory, and I didn't really know anything about this. But, you can look it up on Wikipedia, but there's one theory that it was something called an infrasound.
Right.
I'll read a quick thing here. Another... Okay, I guess the mountains and the way the wind is coming down can produce this infrasound capable of inducing panic attacks in humans. Right. Dave, now you were explaining this to me. Tell everybody about it.
Right. So infrasound is there's a certain frequency of sound. It's a very low frequency of sound. I believe it's even barely audible for most people to hear, but your brain is able to detect that it's there. And when you are exposed to this for a period of time, it can induce all kinds of different states in the human psyche. You get feelings of dread, feelings of panic, anxiety. Some people have reported hallucinations. So this actually occurs a lot in older buildings where you have mechanical rooms or things like that causing that kind of sound. People can start to see things or feel things in there. Some people use infrasound as an explanation for the supernatural, that it's actually it's usually old buildings, old mental hospitals and things like that, where that mechanical activity is what causes people to think they're haunted. In this case, it was the wind coming around the mountain that caused that sound, and it made them think something was going on. They had a complete panic attack and cut their way out of the...
So one theory is that this infrasound affected them mentally to the point where they ripped out through their tent, stormed off into the cold. Some of them had no shoes on.
Right.
Some were just wearing pants and a T-shirt.
Right.
They definitely were not dressed to run off. So some theories of this sound drove them insane, but I guess you wouldn't even know what's happening because nobody can hear it. It's a low frequency. You just start to get delusional.
Right. It's
and again, it doesn't explain why they all ran as a group to this one spot in the tree line, and then we probably should get in quick why it is such a mystery. I mean, people go hiking all the time, or people go in the mountains in here. And some people die. There are avalanches, ski accidents. The crazy thing here is the way some of the findings they had. Some of the kids had such blunt force trauma that forensics officials thought that was beyond the capability of a human being to cause that much trauma to a skull.
Right.
The one girl had her tongue cut out or bit out. Bit out.
I mean, officially, the investigation concluded that an unknown compelling force is what led to their deaths. I mean, that can leave it open for a lot of different things.
Right, an unknown compelling force. So the reason when you brought this this up to me is that it happened in 1959, but people really still don't have an explanation outside of one of the theories, military. Right. Obviously, the KGB could shut that shit down back in the day, and nobody will know what the hell happened. They did find. Now, I was watching this I guess you can call it a documentary on Discovery Channel, but they did find like a boot covering that went from the Russian military boot covering. Right. Now, and some people said it could have just fell off because they were helping with the search party. So that's when the boot covering could have fell off, or did the military pull, but I don't want to make shit up, but did the military have anything to do with the death of these kids? Right. And they covered it up. That's one of the theory. Right. So this is why it's so interesting. Like, nobody says definitely that this is what happened to these 9 kids.
Right. Yeah, I mean, with all the theories, everybody has their own conjectures, and but no one can really, without time travel, go back and see what happened there.
And then, another theory: we had the infrasound, we had the military, we had the avalanche. We have the paradoxical undressing, which is when you get hypothermia.
Right.
And you start, I don't know why you're so cold. You're in like below freezing temperatures that you start getting hypothermia. Your body's like, I'm really hot. Just take off all your clothes.
Right.
I don't understand why that happens to us.
Right.
But that's one of the theories. Again, explaining why these kids weren't dressed to be out in those temperatures.
Yeah, I mean, they would definitely be, and at that point, you would be delirious from what's going on. So no telling. But there's definitely other reasons why a group of teenagers or young adults would be in partial undress in tents in the middle of a field.
It's because they're having sex.
Right. So I mean, that one I think
right. So they're all in the middle of having sex.
Right.
Which leads me to the one I would like to talk about the most. There's the one theory, and not the sex part. I'm sure teenagers are having sex. It's the Yeti.
Right.
It is.
It's not a horror movie if they're not having sex.
True story. Well, you know what happens when you have sex.
Yep.
But one is the cryptozoological explanation. It is the Yeti. Now, obviously, all the theories we discussed before that are so much easier to swallow and accept. I'd like to think that maybe the Yeti is running around up there. I'd hate to think that he's killing these. He killed these teenagers. He, she.
Right.
I like him to be a gentle giant.
Mr. Abominable.
But now some of the reasons, again, that people are saying this, that there's where they found these kids, the ones that reached the tree line, that branches 6 feet, 7 feet in the air, they were like busted up and everything. Like what was Big Hair wrecking?
Right.
But it also could have been what was causing these kids to try to climb these trees high, and the kids were breaking the branches trying to climb up. What were they trying to get away from?
Yep. Probably a Yeti.
Maybe a Yeti. Again, I think there's also an alien theory, too, because there was reports of lights in the sky. Now, the Yeti. Let's get back to the Yeti. That leads me to, I watched because you sent me down this rabbit hole.
Of course. Wormhole.
Wormhole, yeah. You sent me down this wormhole. I ended up watching a show on the Discovery Channel. It's called Discovery Presents. And let's see, the title of the episode was, hold on. Russian Yeti, the killer lives. Again, that's pretty harsh. Maybe the Yeti's not a killer. Maybe he's a vegan. I don't know. Nobody knows.
Right.
But they really went in depth in this little documentary. This guy went up there trying to camp and go in the same spots. They did record some really, really weird sounds at night. Again, it's a show. It could all be faked. But I like to believe maybe something's out there in the mountains we can't explain.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be. Imagine even if the Yeti is a peaceful Yeti, as it's coming up on the tents, that could definitely cause them to freak out and do all this, and they're trying to get away, and they get themselves killed just trying to escape this thing that was just coming up to say hi.
Now, if the military was doing anything up there, a lot of experimenting, maybe shelling, weapons tests, who knows? I mean, so you have a Yeti out there, and he's just sick and tired of these hairless short people always blowing shit up.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it just stumbles across 9 Camp, and he's like, I had enough.
Yeah.
Had a really bad day at the office, and he just goes Yeti shit on these kids.
Right.
Would that explain the cutting of the holes? Or were they hearing the Yeti call? That sounded more like a wolf. Were they freaking out and cutting little holes in the tent to peek out of? What were they doing?
Right.
Again, if a crazed Yeti, I think I would cut the tent to get out and get running.
I would cut the tent to get out. I don't know that I would cut eye holes.
You wouldn't want to peek out?
Well, that's
what's out there.
I would look out the flap, because once you've cut a hole in your tent, it's not really good for a tent anymore. But
it's certainly not waterproof.
I mean, imagine if you're in a tent, and you're in the middle of nowhere. It's cold, and you hear either the Yeti call or footfalls or whatever. I mean, or you can see something brushing against the tent. It's going to freak you out, and that would easily cause somebody to just burst through the tent, cut it out.
Now, what do you think? Because again, this is why it's such a mystery. And again, I'll stay on the Yeti all day. But some forensics tests showed that there was high doses of radiation on some of the victims' clothes.
Right.
Again, that's got to lead you back to military.
Possibly. Although, there's no telling, the radiation on the clothes could have been that, just they were going through an area that had been tested on or whatever before. Like the radiation might not have had anything to do with this incident, but it's very hard to explain that as part of this.
Yeah. Unless they walked up on some testing facility,
right?
Which you think would be an odd place to put it. It's a place the ski trip was going. These hikers, it probably is a kind of a popular spot. You would think.
No, remember it was empty for miles around. I don't think this was a popular stomping grounds. This was this was a special trip they had organized for a long time to go on this. They had their own guide. That's actually the Dyatlov, or however you pronounce it, pass is named after him. He's the organizer, the guide for this trip. So this would definitely be a remote installation of the military to keep prying eyes away, I think.
True. So it's not like the Sierra Mountains here in America, ski resort. Okay. Now, again, I think I briefly mentioned it, but the Mansi tribe,
right?
Kind of an indigenous tribe that lives up there. They're the ones that call it the Mountain of the Dead. I think one thing I read, they warn these kids, don't go up there. It's not a good place.
Right.
Why do you think we call it this? There's a reason we call it this.
Right.
Some people also blamed originally the Mansi tribe on the deaths, like whether they were upset that the kids went there,
right?
Or because I feel like I read that the kids had stopped at a in a Mansi tribe in their area, their community,
right?
And gotten a little skirmish. Again, it could all be bullshit, just trying to find a place to lay blame.
Yep.
Again, some of the injuries to the 3 to 4 people they found injuries on, they were just kind of like, no, I don't think this was caused by a human. Look at the trauma.
Right.
Again, it doesn't explain the tongue, but then other people say, oh, animals came by. Animals came by, opened up the mouth, ate the tongue, but didn't eat any other body part.
Right.
That's pretty bizarre.
That's pretty bizarre. And the fact that the one guy was found, he had brain damage, but there was no skull damage. So something affected his brain from the inside.
That's aliens. That's like some Darth Vader force stuff. Just
Psyops.
Crushing. Yeah, now you can't even begin to explain that.
Right.
Yeah, how do you, I guess you could have such a head shake. Could you violently thrash your head so much you damage your brain, but...
Well, that's headbanging, yes, but that's usually after years.
No, there's some good metal in Russia, right?
Right, yep.
So, yeah, I'm going to stick with the Yeti.
Right.
Here's an area. Even the Mansi tribe labeled it the Mountain of the Dead because a lot of people have gone missing. This mountain has mystery all over it. We're not doing it justice because there's so much to discuss. But maybe there's a reason they labeled it. Maybe there's a reason they don't want people to go there.
Right.
Imagine you got this remote area and there's still a Yeti living and people start coming in. Right. It would freak you out. It'd be like someone trying to take over your home, a home invasion. Maybe you get all fired up, pissed off. But you're only just trying to protect your home.
Right.
So we don't know, because I don't know if I could venture out into that area and check it out, but we don't know what's out there.
Right.
We think we do.
That would be perfect for the Yeti to stay undetected compared to, say, the Pacific Northwest for Bigfoot. There's so many people, it's hard to stay undetected. But in Russia, in the middle of the mountains where nobody goes, and it has the ominous, Mountain of the Dead title, it's perfect place to hide out.
And because we're geeking out, we missed one of the big... They found large footprints, a single set of really big ass footprints walking around the tent.
Right.
I mean,
Yep.
who makes those?
Now,
The Yeti.
another option, the Yeti might still be peaceful. So maybe one of the group really went crazy or something and started, fighting, trying to kill everybody. And the Yeti actually came upon this, and the guy had already killed.
He tried to break it up,
and the Yeti killed him to save, trying to save everybody else. I'm thinking sort of like Shawshank Redemption, not Shawshank Redemption. The what's the other one?
Green Mile.
Green Mile, where the big Yeti's just misunderstood, and he actually was trying to help the people.
I would like to think that the Yeti is like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be that'd be the kind of Yeti I want to know.
Yeah. So again, like I said, you introduced me to this whole concept. I never heard of it, but a lot of people have. There's been books written on since the 80s. So I'm definitely slow on the uptake on this mystery. But it was really fascinating. So, like I said, I had to watch this Discovery Channel program called Discovery Presents. It was episode 6, titled Russian Yeti, The Killer Lives. I think it came out in 2014. It was interesting. It was all skewed towards, like, it was the Yeti. And they did capture some weird sounds, and they did some little history on it. I found it fascinating. I really did. So that's something, if anybody listening wants to check out more about this, because, you like I said, you will go down the worm rabbit hole, just digging up information. But that was interesting. But that led me then to a found footage horror movie called The Devil's Pass, directed by the same guy who did Die Hard 2 and Cliffhanger. It's an okay movie. It's like a group of 5 documentary filmmakers are going to follow the footsteps of the Dyatlov group and try to figure out what happened to them. And of course, bad shit happens to them. The movie's okay to a point. The ending just goes fucking batshit crazy. It gets weird, but I found it really. I still couldn't stop watching because I was so interested in this whole mystery. I'm still fascinated. I can't wait to see if there's anything else out there. Do you guys have anything else to say before we take a break? All right, well, let's take a break. We'll come back with our final thoughts on this, and break time.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 5000 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 5000. Enjoy.
Fueled by tacos, beer, and Bloody Marys, the only show featuring baby Jesus with a nail gun, the pride of PA and the show with the eye of the tiger, ladies and gentlemen, Punch Farm.
Hey, this is Mark from Punch Farm. I'm here with Mark Dose. Hello. I'm here with Alicia.
Hello.
I'm here with Nikki.
Hey.
Join us every Monday as we talk about life, tacos, beer, and movies. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and punchfarm.com.
Keep on punching.
And welcome back. All right, so Dave.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on this? I mean, I could geek out all day here at the bar. I say the bar because that's how it all started. We were at the bar having a beer and led to this weird conversation. Any final thoughts?
I mean, I definitely think the infrasound is what strikes me as a compelling theory. It obviously doesn't prove every or even explain everything about what happened here, but I just feel like that really could do it to at least kick off a chain of events that led to this. I also wanted to say, as a metalhead, there was a metal band that decided to use this as a full-length concept album. So definitely check them out and listen to the horror in sound.
All right. Lish, our announcer here. You didn't say anything at all?
Nope.
This time, but I know we've been talking a lot about it. Any final thoughts?
Honestly, I feel like there's not like one single explanation that fits like what happened there. I feel like it might have been a perfect storm of a bunch of different situations happening at the same time to cause all of this. So I feel like, it's so unexplained. I just don't know.
Mm-hmm. It was the Yeti. Yeah. The Yeti exists. I want to believe. Now this is crazy, and the fact that people are still talking about today, the fact that they just made a movie, I guess that one came out in 2013. Discovery Channel did something in 2014. There's books on it. You said about the metal band. The fact that people are still using this as a basis for their creative projects just shows that it's an unsolved mystery, and it's fascinating. Dog, be quiet before the Yeti comes and gets you. Okay. I don't know. There's still a lot of information to find out there. So, Hey, anybody listening, if we piqued your interest, because that's all we really hope to do is just pique your interest, so you go discover things on your own. Check it out. The Dyatlov Pass incident. We're not sure if we're saying that right. Find that on Wiki. There's books about it. There's the movies we mentioned. Go learn more. But if you want to give us any feedback on this episode or any future episodes, hit us up at paranormalpunchers@gmail.com. You can find out more about us at paranormalpunchers.com. Dave, anything else to tell the peeps? Why did I? Except to never say the word peeps. I don't know where that came from.
Right.
Let me try that again. Dave, anything else to tell the listeners?
No.
It's a no. What he's trying to say is like never cut holes in your tent.
Right. Yes.
Unless a Yeti's trying to get you.
Right.
Lish, any final thoughts?
No. Other than I really just don't know what happened. I feel
no, nobody freaking does.
No, It's just that's crazy what happened.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you enjoy this. We got some all kinds of weird stuff to talk about coming up on future episodes. This one is really fascinating. Go learn more for yourself. And thanks for listening, guys. And remember, if it's not weird, it's not worth checking out.
We expect a lot from our homes. They're more than a place to hang your hat. They're where you try your hand at gardening and new recipes. Rest and recharge. Work and play. And that's why at HomeAdvisor, we're committed to keeping your home up and running. Whether you need to repair an overloaded appliance or you're looking to create a backyard retreat worthy of a summer staycation, use the HomeAdvisor app, day or night, and we'll find a local pro to get the job done right. Whatever you need, we'll do everything to fix your everything. Download the HomeAdvisor app today to get started.
Welcome to Paranormal Punchers, a lighthearted podcast discussing anything paranormal. From Bigfoot to haunted locations, hosts Mark and Dave break down a paranormal story and give you their uneducated but honest and spirited opinions. Here's our hosts, Mark and Dave.
Hey, thanks, Lish. I'm Mark.
I'm Dave.
And this is episode 2. And tonight, we're going to talk about the Brown Mountain Lights. No, that's not a joke. It's what's called Brown Mountain Lights. There's no sexual innuendos in there. This is located down in North Carolina. And that's my dog, who always has to make her presence known. I know, Brown Mountain Lights, aliens. It got me freaked out too, dog. Oh, goofy.
Yeah, I have to say, I knew nothing of this prior to the topic coming up. And through the research, it's definitely an interesting subject. Surprised I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, go ahead, Lish.
Oh, no, I was just going to say I've only heard of it because we've watched movies about it, and there's a couple things that are out there that we've actually seen before, but that's all I know.
Yeah, so what it is like a series of people, some people call them ghost lights, that just appear up over the Brown Mountains. Some people say they're alien ships, because some people say, there's some videos out there, whether they're shenanigans or not, but people say they saw them, move fast, disappear. Some people say they're like spirits, floating around.
Yep.
So I think the first reported sightings were do I have this right? Is it Cherokee Indians?
Yep.
Back in a long time ago.
Right.
Yeah, I think you have a note there.
Yeah, well, it looks like Cherokee and the Catawba. I don't know if I said that right. Catawba Indians, different settlers, and then also Civil War soldiers. So.
Right. Now, I've also heard that there's been talk of it for like 800 years, way before the Cherokee Indians report. So, I guess it's kind of a discrepancy of how long this has been going on. And
yeah, and I guess not a lot of photos from back then, especially when you have to stay still.
Yeah.
For photographs back in the day for like a couple minutes, they're not capturing.
Yeah.
Or a guy trying to draw it out quick wasn't happening.
Come on, ghosts, work with me.
Yeah. Now, and I feel like there were some senators, 1912, 1920, somewhere around there, that just said it was lights from the train. And then there was a huge flood and, canceled out trains running through this pass. Yet people still reported the lights. So that kind of debunked that back in the day. And then I feel like they kickstarted another investigation. Like, all right, let's find out what the hell this is.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It definitely seems like it could have a regular explanation, normal explanation, but the supernatural definitely could also come into play here. I mean, there's talk that people go disappearing whenever the lights are seen, and that's not well understood, obviously. I mean, and how these lights have been going on for this long. Obviously, trains weren't running 800 years ago. So, how do you explain that?
I don't have a figure, a number on how many hikers, but yeah, there's been reports of hikers going out there and not seen again around the same time these lights were seen. So are they aliens abducting?
Right.
There's this other thing, I think they're called like a will-o-wisp.
Right.
So it's like a ball of light. You're like, oh, pretty, and you follow it. It leads you off the path, and boom, you're never heard from again.
Yeah.
They're like some type of spirit, a fairy, some poltergeist in the woods. I don't know.
Well, you've seen Brave, right? Disney? No.
I saw it.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it
It's a
where
cartoon.
she shoots a bow and arrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see it a long time ago.
The will-o-wisps play into that.
Okay.
Yeah. Leads you into the woods. Bad things happen.
Well, that is one theory.
Right.
There was one I read that they were just talking like it's spirits, possibly from old Indian warriors, battles that took place in this mountain a long time ago.
Right.
Now, I obviously am a fan of it's UFOs.
Right. Well, wasn't that the X-Files explanation? I guess this appeared on an X-Files episode.
Yeah.
And Mulder was convinced it was UFOs.
We actually did watch that because all the episodes are on Netflix.
Okay.
And it started out that way, and it ended up being this mushroom or spore that like made you hallucinate, and then it would devour you.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy.
Okay.
It didn't end up being aliens in the
Okay.
episode, but an interesting one either way.
Right.
But
Yep. Now I have to say, I'm somewhat skeptical on this one. Having seen, different. There's been some documentaries. There's a whole website devoted to it. What is it? BrownMountainLights.com or something like that.
Yep.
And they have all kinds of video footage. And there was a whole show. Was it Nat Geo show or whatever devoted to an episode devoted to this, and everything that they were showing to me, it looked, excuse me, easily like it was traffic or trains or ATVs or something like that. Like none of it really stood out from the video that they had. But again, that being said, okay, that's all modern stuff. Going back, if you have a subject like this that goes on for many, many years and everybody's saying basically the same things, it kind of says there's more going on.
Well, yeah. Well, why would scientists still be so fascinated in studying this if they've already like, hey, look, it's just reflection of light. Let's move on.
Right.
There's that one scientist that we were watching that program where he was setting up full-time dedicated cameras at two locations just to constantly click a picture every second or so.
Right.
They had a whole convention down in Carolina. Go figure. There's a paranormal phenomenon, and people build a convention around it.
Yep.
Hey, that's cool. I'm down with it. I guess we did rule out Bigfoot.
Right.
It's not Bigfoot running around with a Zippo through the woods just having a fun time. So
Right. Yeah.
This time it's not Bigfoot.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever heard of Bigfoot using light. So,
Yeah, well, you never know.
Lantern.
Bigfoot's got to, at some point, come across someone dropped a flashlight or a lighter. He's got to have a couple stored in the cave.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, I mean going into it when I was doing my research on it, I was thinking that this could have been some sort of it was actually traffic light or train light, but that there was some sort of, with the heat and gases and stuff, get some sort of lensing around the mountain so that even though you saw the light there, the light was actually coming from somewhere else, and you were just catching it that way. Given the time frame, most of the time it's late September to November, which would kind of rule out most of the time that the heat and such would give lensing effects. So
now one theory is it's like a small lightning ball. So this just phenomenon forms. It's a little ball of lightning. Could last for like a second, 10 seconds. So that's the one program we were watching. That guy was like, that's definitely what it is. But he's the same guy who was setting up cameras, dedicated cameras to continue to watch.
right.
So even though that's his theory, I guess there's part of him like there's more to learn about this phenomenon.
Yeah, I mean, ball lightning has a huge following. I can't say that from the photos and video that I would have thought that ball lightning would be a plausible explanation to this. But
I wish I could shoot ball lightning. How awesome would that be?
yeah,
Just like an anime character. But that's off the topic. Liz, you have some notes there.
I do. One of the things that you guys haven't talked about was they believe that it could possibly be dust that's being vented from a mine, a mica mine. And then also one that I don't necessarily think is true, but there are some people that think that it's a moonshiner out there who does not want people to be coming around, and so they're trying to send up some kind of light on a kite to frighten their neighbors. But that doesn't.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem
That sounds
logical.
stupid.
But, yeah,
considering it's drawing people in.
exactly.
I think
It's
the
doing
plan's
opposite.
backfired. It's really the moonshiner.
Yeah.
No, but I did have one that I found that I thought was hilarious. But Ralph Lale, he ran the Outer Space Rock Shop Museum in the foothills. And he also ran for Congress back in 1948. He believes, or not believes, he says he was invited into the mountains by the aliens. And they're operating like a big bustling base there. And the
aliens are?
Yes. And they were kind enough to take him for a ride in a flying saucer. And he said that also with them were some attractive female ETs in bikinis.
Okay.
All right, we could probably. It's safe to assume that he might have been dropping acid,
Probably.
or something, if he's seeing all this.
Right.
But the icing on the cake is the ETs and bikinis.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's just warped. I would
Yes.
not want to see that.
I just thought it was funny.
If you take ET and put it,
yeah.
I don't want to see that.
Right.
Yeah. Now if they look like Doctor Who, all the aliens look like humans. Then it's all right.
Right. But I mean, it's amazing how much of a following there is in the area. There's all kinds of just local history around it, not just on the sightings, but then the there's songs about it. There's everything. The locals really enjoy this phenomenon and use it for tourism, use it for drawing people in. And
Yeah, I mean the mountains are beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean they have that going for them. But
Right.
yeah, if you get more people in that want to camp or put money into the community just to hang out there and check out these lights, that's great for them.
right. This is what
I would totally, let people set up tents in my backyard if I had lights coming up over.
right.
I could probably rig something up.
This is what, like a 9-mile stretch of the mountains, right?
Yeah, it's just.
Yep. Now, have you guys ever been to that area of North Carolina?
No.
I lived in North Carolina for a couple years,
Okay.
In Statesville, but I don't know where the Brown Mountains were in connection with that. And to be honest with you, I never heard of it
Right.
while I was living down there.
Okay.
So I might not have been close enough to have it even matter. But
Yeah, I've driven through North Carolina, but just 95, and there weren't really a lot of anything like that. So this, I don't think, is anywhere near that. And,
No,
but
maybe someday it'd be fun to go down and check it out. Like I said, the area is beautiful. So at the very least, you're going to enjoy a hike.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to see the lights. I want to see what that guy saw. I want to see the alien hub.
Yeah.
The aliens in bikinis. I want that. Get that on a travel brochure. Man, you could sell a ton of tours.
Well, if they're nice enough to take me on a UFO ride, that would be fun.
Yeah. I'd be like, let me drive.
Yeah. Oops.
I'd do a flyby here. Dead air.
sorry.
Yep.
It's okay. I could cut that out. Now, again, these kind of stories always fascinate me. Then there's no like hard evidence, as all of what we talk about. That's how it's going to be.
Right.
But I'd like to recommend a movie to everybody. It's called Alien Abduction. It's on Netflix, and they use the Brown Mountain Lights as like the setup, the basis of what happens to this family. This family's on a trip together, going to do some camping out in the woods of the Carolinas. The dad's GPS takes him down this road that pretty much puts him way out in too remote of a location, considering he didn't get enough gas. He didn't realize how this route was going to be so long. And that's when it kind of runs into that's when it gets a little scary.
Okay.
We have some ET action, and I think it's really good. It moves along fast. I think the alien stuff is, there's not really jump scares, but there's some jump scares, but done really well. It's a found footage movie.
Okay.
I know some people frown on that,
Right.
but I think this one does it right.
Okay.
And it looks good. It moves along. I highly recommend it if you're into this kind of stuff. If you're into aliens and you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's called Alien Abduction. Go check it out.
Yeah, 2014, so it's fairly new.
Yeah.
See, again, if you talk this brown mountain phenomenon has been in legend and lore,
Right.
and still touching, the pop culture, the culture around us. So it's always fascinated with something like this affects. It inspired a director to make a movie. It inspired that bluegrass band to write a song.
Right.
That's fascinating too.
Just reading up on this movie. I have not seen it.
No spoilers.
Right.
Don't ruin it.
Right.
No, I highly recommend it. Do you like aliens?
Never met one I didn't like.
There you go. I think you'll dig the movie. I give it a thumbs up.
I
Cool.
give it a thumbs up too.
Yeah. Was it kind of cheesy, campy, or just a good movie?
No, just a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no. I wouldn't call it campy at all, nor cheesy. Yeah, I think done right.
Okay.
Now, we live here in Pennsylvania, and there's been reports of like flying saucers over Gettysburg, like back at what was it the 1920s? No,
48 or 49.
yeah, and also around 1960 some, I think.
Okay.
So interesting, because we got a lot of mountains here. Maybe they have a couple hubs.
Right.
Maybe what if Brown Mountain is like the central location?
Yeah.
And they can shuttle these saucers out to poke around at other areas. National Battlefield would be a good spot, considering you have to, everybody's got to clear the hell out at dusk. So all the tourists are gone, and the aliens can, break out a keg, party a little bit, and nobody will be around to mess with them.
Right. Yep. That reminds me, just I don't know what triggered it. The one of the other explanations that supernatural is that the lights are actually of a former slave walking the mountains, and that he's wandering the mountains with his light, and that is the explanation for the Brown Mountain lights.
But aren't there like at times several lights, not just one?
Right. So I don't know how to explain
So we're going
that.
to
It's just-
debunk that right here.
Maybe there's a couple slaves.
Right,
You never
yep.
know.
The story could have changed a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. I guess it'd be hard. Nobody knows yet, so I don't even know why I'm going to sit here and theorize. If scientists can't figure it out, then there's sure as hell I have no shot at coming up with a good idea. The ball lightning, that was something I wasn't really familiar with. So when that guy was explaining that, I'm like, that shit can happen?
Right.
That sounds pretty rad.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, what if they could just materialize anywhere?
Well, and I mean that's part of the mystique around ball lightning. Like I forget the whole scientific explanation of it, whether it's been debunked or is real, but I know a lot of the pop culture versions of it aren't even close to what lightning can actually do.
What if ball lightning is like something from another dimension or another world,
like Terminator coming in,
trying to break in? So maybe they're like trying to break into our world,
right?
And then they realize there's a bunch of cameras on. They got to suck it back up, try somewhere else. It's like, damn it!
Yeah.
This used to be a really good location.
Yeah.
Now it's too touristy. That would be awesome. Could you imagine if they could? The dog thinks it's awesome too.
Yeah.
She's such a cheerleader for us. Wish we had a shut-up stick. I forgot to buy one.
Yeah.
A shut-up stick is a big rawhide we give the dog to occupy her while we're podcasting because she loves them so much. She just goes in her corner and just chews and chews and chews. That has nothing to do with aliens. Wish my dog could find aliens. Fantastic. Then she's... Yeah.
Maybe aliens gave us the technology for rawhide sticks.
I doubt it. What if that ball lightning phenomenon could literally, like, you just be in your backyard at the grill,
Yep.
drinking a beer. In fact, we're drinking a Victory Hop Ranch. So you're enjoying your hop ranch, and a ball lightning just kind of appears right there at your grill. You got a gas grill. You can set that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And spark it. And the phenomenon will be gone. And everybody will be like, oh, well, there must have been a problem with the gas line. But it's just ball lightning going around just screwing with people.
Right, yeah. More likely, it would, instead of the gas line, it'd be like he was just drunk while grilling and blew himself up.
That's probably, that's what the coroner would say.
Yeah.
Let's hope that never happens.
Yeah.
Now, Lish, anything on your notes there that we didn't discuss?
No, I mean, I know, the Indians, they thought it was ghosts grieving for their maidens. I have that written down. I was like, and then there was also a German surveyor. He concluded that the apparitions were nitrous vapors born on the wind.
Okay.
Yeah, so
They
I don't know what that
ignite-
means, but
Were they igniting or what?
I'm assuming igniting. But
Because that's actually something that I haven't found anything on this. If it's been going on for 800 years or even back from, a few hundred years ago, obviously the lights that would be considered from a train or an automobile or an ATV are going to look like headlights,
Right.
A light bulb. Back then, they wouldn't have had that. It would have been a fire, some sort of a much more yellow glow light. There's been nothing. I haven't found anything about the lights, the description of the lights being the same the whole time, or if they're changing, or all that. So I don't know. That's kind of hard to explain. If it was fire and now suddenly they've turned to headlights, then that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I did also find that the United States government has investigated this 3 times, and it's been investigated countless times by different private groups.
Right.
So
All paid by the government to keep their mouth shut
Right.
and make up stories because there's an alien hub in
Right.
that mountain pass, like that guy was talking about.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what's going on. Yep, I'm going with that theory. That's awesome. Or Bigfoot with a flashlight or Zippo just running around the forest messing with people.
Right.
That one is. That's what I want it to be.
Right.
Truly.
Well, that's whenever Stairway to Heaven comes on. He's
Yeah. I think Bigfoots have a sense of humor. They got to.
yeah.
You know, there's a theory. We're going all over the place.
sorry.
Once you throw mountains in there, and what could be in a mountain?
I know.
I was listening to this one program, and a guy has a theory that the Bigfoot are actually interdimensional creatures or aliens of some sort. So why we can never capture them because they just phase out.
Right.
So we got to take a picture and like they go to the other dimension, or they're aliens and get beamed up.
Yep. And that would definitely explain why we've never found a body. We've never found anything. Yeah.
Dad, did they just leave those footprints?
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody has brought up Bigfoot at the Brown Mountain Lights.
Right.
You start having people show up to like just get photographs of those weird lights. I can't believe there's not more stories about other sightings of other stuff in this mountains. Because once you pull in people like us, I want to like, well, if there's sightings in Bigfoot here in York, Pennsylvania,
Right.
there's got to be something like that big, vast mountain scape in Carolina's got to have something.
Yep.
If he's real.
Maybe next time they have a Brown Mountain Lights convention, we should attend and.
We should go. Oh my God! Let's have a booth with our theory about the Zippo waving Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Oh man, we need to do some artwork for that. That's like an album cover too. You think about it. Yeah, that's the name of our band.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Can't wait to get that band started. Since we never really talked about doing that. You got a guitar. I got a bass. You got
Right.
drums.
Yeah.
We're there. Yeah. We got a dog. She can be the singer. She's very vocal. Well, why don't we take a break, and we'll come back with our final thoughts and some other musings. And I'm going to go over some feedback. Some listeners sent some ideas, so it could be pretty awesome.
Cool.
So we'll be right back.
Fueled by tacos, beer, and Bloody Marys, the only show featuring baby Jesus with a nail gun, the pride of PA, and the show with the eye of the tiger, ladies and gentlemen, Punch Farm.
Hey, this is Mark from Punch Farm. I'm here with Mark Dose. Hello. I'm here with Alicia.
Hello.
I'm here with Nikki. Join us every Monday as we talk about life, tacos, beer, and movies. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and punchfarm.com.
Keep on punching.
And welcome back. Dave, during the break, we were talking about something interesting. You were talking about when the hikers go missing.
Right.
Was that back years and years ago?
Yeah, how recent were
versus
these?
now with the technology and equipment to find somebody?
Yeah. Because, if all the hikers that have gone missing were in the past, I'm sure it was pretty easy to say, hey, I'm going hiking and take a different route out the mountain and, change your life, disappear for a while type of thing, versus nowadays, they would have a search party out there and try to find you. So
True. And do you think cell phones would be dead out in the Brown Mountains?
I don't know.
Because people today, they'd be hiking, but they'd be doing a selfie every 5 steps. So he would know that they're out there. Yeah.
Well, and they'd have their Fitbit on with GPS tracking and all that. And
but at the alien hub, they could just,
yeah.
take that off, nullify that with the nullifier gun.
Yeah.
That's what they use.
A nullifier gun.
Yeah. I don't know. What got me interested in this phenomenon was watching Alien Abduction.
Right.
They had some reports in the beginning that, when I first saw the movie, I thought, bullshit reports, but I'm really fascinated with what this is. I want to check some more out. And after checking a few things out and rewatching the movie, some of the people they had in the beginning talking were the actual scientists and people that study this and do lectures.
Right.
I'm like, all right, that's cool. The director really tapped into these guys, which I think gave it that film that little bit more authenticity and made it just a little bit creepier and scarier.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what led me to want to talk about the Brown Mountain Lights.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting topic. Like I said, I knew nothing about it, and I kind of want to watch the movie and learn more about it and go visit. This is one of those places that it doesn't sound like the abduction thing. Hasn't really drawn out in my head yet. I'd actually go visit this to see what it's all about. I'm not worried about them being evil or anything, and so
You were hoping to get abducted or no?
well, it depends. If I get a free ride on a UFO, I'm all for it.
With a E.T. clad in bikini.
Well, yeah. Bikini's a bikini.
Now, there goes the dog again. She sounds like a Yeti. So after the first episode, we got a little bit of feedback here. Brian on Facebook, he said he likes what we're doing here, and he has a bunch of idea suggestions. And here we go. He says, oh, man, there's so much out there. One of my favorites is the man from Taured. Have you ever heard of that? Taured?
I've never heard of that.
But he said there's also the world-controlling reptilian aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Which sounds like I want to get into that.
Yep.
The Hollow Earth.
Okay.
The various alien abductions, yes.
Yeah.
The Allagash abductions, the Frederick Valentic. Let's see. And there's some recent footage by the Chilean Air Force.
Okay.
Of some UFOs. And he lists even more.
Mm-hmm.
So, right here alone is a list we could work our way through. Brian, thanks for listening. I'm glad you're really into it. We'll definitely get to some of these topics, and always feel free to send in some feedback to paranormalpunchers@gmail.com or our Facebook group, because some of this stuff I've never heard of, and I want to check it out.
Yeah.
Well, you and I were at the bar talking about the people that were trying to drill to the center of Earth, and they're getting sounds of people screaming and torture.
Yep. The pit of hell, or the drilling into hell.
There's so much out there to discuss. Let's see. Rachel, she's loving this. She said we had her hooked at the mention of Yetis. So, hey, hopefully you guys could learn some more about the Brown Mountain Lights. Check it out. Again, we're not the scientists. We're just the people that like to sit around drinking a beer, shooting the crap about it. Shoot the breeze about it. How's that? That's what we do here. And we invite you to join us. So, guys, any other thoughts on that? Anything you want to discuss on future episodes?
I definitely like the reptilian overlords. That interests me. And with the UFO sightings, that I don't know if you saw it. It was just a couple months ago. The NASA live feed from the International Space Station, where there was an object that descended into the orbit, and they cut the feed right as it hit orbit.
I feel like I just heard something about this.
Yep. So.
All right. Yeah, there's so much out there. Again, if you something you want us to chit chat about, send us an email. Get it on Facebook, Twitter. Hit us up at it's PP Lish. What's our Twitter handle?
Well, you can find us at Paranormal Punchers, but let me look it up real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, paranormalpunchers.com.
What is it?
She's looking for the Twitter account.
I know. I'm sorry.
Is
It's
it P Punchers?
P Punchers.
P Punchers. Yeah. Paranormal Punches was too long for Twitter.
Yeah.
So we ended up
Imagine
being super clever, and we have P Punchers. That's so terrible. But hey, it works. Yeah. So what we'll try to do is post to Twitter and Facebook maybe the topic we're going to discuss. Mm-hmm. So if you want to send in some feedback, you can do that. If you want to look some stuff up beforehand, don't worry about trying to fact check us, because we're never right.
Right.
Like I said, we just like to talk about it.
Yep.
So anything else, guys?
Nope, I'm good, honey.
As always, it's fun to hang out with you guys. I love it, and I can't wait to next episode. And until then, remember, if it's not weird, it's not worth checking out.
This might look like a normal job, but it's not. When hackers infiltrate networks and steal or destroy proprietary data, we're all at risk. Becca used to be a mid-level programmer until she earned a master's degree in cybersecurity online at Grand Canyon University. Now she's setting sophisticated honeypots to lure and catch hackers. What do you think protecting your company looks like? GCU offers over 175 high-quality online programs like this one. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu.
Geico knows there are many reasons why you ride. From the thrill of the revving engine and pure adrenaline of flying down the highway, to the confidence of knowing that Geico always has your back with 24/7 access to claim service. But Ari Snyder has one reason in particular.
I had extremely large upper arms. They won't even fit into most shirts. Thankfully, biking really embraces vest culture, so I feel accepted.
Geico Motorcycle. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. Did you know Geico's now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies? That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Your dentist to actually believe you?
And you're flossing every day.
Absolutely.
Great. And you're cutting down on your sweets?
Of course.
Wonderful. Then I don't even need to look in there.
Great. See you in 6 months.
There's never been a better time to switch to Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. Limitations apply. Visit geico.com for details.
Welcome to Paranormal Punchers, a lighthearted podcast discussing anything paranormal, from Bigfoot to haunted locations. The hosts, Mark and Dave, break down a paranormal story and give you their uneducated but honest and spirited opinions. Here's our hosts, Mark and Dave.
Thanks, Lish. I'm Mark.
I'm Dave.
And welcome to episode 3. Now, on this episode, we are going to be talking about the reptilian overlord conspiracy. This was a suggestion from Brian on our Facebook page. So we dug in barreling to this bizarre and totally awesome theory.
Yeah.
That I feel it's mostly based off of this one dude, David Icke. He
or
wrote
fact.
What's that? Or fact. Okay. But David Icke wrote a book back in 1998-99 called The Biggest Secret. And I guess that's where he dropped all kinds of knowledge about the reptilian overlords. They're like ancient aliens, breeding with humans, but breeding mostly with themselves, keeping their lineage
Pure.
Yeah. That way they have more control over underlings, which could be a president.
Right.
His bloodline's not as strong, so they have good control over him. And of course, us little peons,
Right.
they definitely are mind controlling the shit out of us. So, yeah, Dave, did you, when you were looking at the information on this, what jumped out at you was pretty outrageous.
Well, that approximately 4% of Americans believe this is true, and that any one of us could be one at this moment, and we wouldn't even know it.
Right.
So how do you disprove something like that? Or prove something like that?
Okay, so this is probably based off the same poll, because I found in 2013, they did a poll, and it was 12 million Americans believe that that lizard people were controlling our politics. 12 million Americans believe. Now, is it because our politics in this country are crazy?
Yeah. I mean,
sometimes it could only possibly be the shenanigans of the reptilian overlords.
right. I mean, who's to say the people in Washington not being who they say they are?
True. There was the one thing I stumbled across said Obama was a reptilian.
Some of the photo evidence of that is kind of freaky. I don't know if it was doctored or not, but there was definitely some stuff
on the
going
internet,
on
something
there.
doctored
Yeah.
up? Can't believe that. Why? What, did you find some freaky pictures?
Yeah, so it was pictures of different celebrities and politicians with different kinds of like things under their skin that, as they were talking, it would look like a vein or something, but it would kind of be like have ridges on it or something like that, and
scaly,
yeah.
Because they're not only, they're shape shifting.
Yes.
Ancient alien reptilian overlords.
Yep.
So they got like some wicked power.
Right.
So they could be anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I mean, obviously I'm not, because why would I?
But how do you know you're not?
You're right. I don't know. How do I know? Okay, so wait. One of his things, David Icke, is that the moon was actually a base where they're beaming this holographic projection into our head of what Earth is.
Right.
So we're living in the Matrix, essentially lizard Matrix.
Right. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. What? Really? Because this is the world the reptilian overlords have given us.
Right. Well, this is one of those ones that I probably don't think it's true, but I kind of wouldn't mind if it was true.
I don't know. Well, they need, again, another little tidbit I found is that they drink human blood.
Well, that part I wouldn't like.
Yeah, I would, 'cause especially if you were the one they were going to snack on.
Right.
I don't know. They need that to keep their shape-shifting powers?
Right.
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah?
I think I read that somewhere that they drink our blood and that keeps them hidden in a way. But
All right. Let's just touch base on the fact that they're shape-shifting aliens.
Right.
So they literally could be Kanye West. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
I mean,
yeah. Definitely. All right. So this guy was also talking because he's a Brit. He's like an ex. This David Icke used to play soccer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what happened where he football. I'm not sure what happened where he just stopped playing sports and just delved into this book. I don't know what triggered it.
you
Took a blow to the head.
blow to the head. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a goalkeeper, right? So he constantly was having things flying at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, one too many
Headers.
and maybe you get bumped on the head like that and it unblocks
Oh.
that filter that the aliens put in.
There you go.
He was able to start seeing them.
Yeah. Maybe I should start smacking
Ramming your
myself in
head
the
into shit?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's healthy.
now I found something online that he also believed that they were what's the word? Mating. Mating with other extraterrestrials called the Nordics. And so then these spawn would have blonde hair and blue eyes. And basically he was saying, they're Aryans, I think is what they were called. They're obsessed with ritual, lending a tendency towards fascism. I almost said fascism, sorry. Fascism, rationalism, and racism. So obviously he's...
So the Aryan race, Hitler...
yeah.
All his soldiers, the Nazis, were reptilians?
They were reptilians, yes.
Interesting.
I know.
Okay, less and less that I really want this to be true, but
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want that.
No.
That's some crazy talk there. Yeah. Now, he was talking about, like, the Queen of England being one. Let me see. Where's my little note here? But he was talking. It got little even crazier. He was talking that they have satanic rituals.
right.
And I guess maybe we've dubbed it satanic ritual. It's just their lizard rituals. But he also said pedophiles. So the craziness and the awfulness that these lizard people do to, I guess, us cattle
Right.
sucks. So yeah, maybe we should both bang our head and we'll unlock that so we can start seeing, start taking them out like Rowdy Piper.
That's what I was just about to say. Yep.
We just need the sunglasses.
And some bubble gum.
I read they have a powerful hypnotic stare, and he thinks it's the origin of the phrase to give someone the evil eye. And I was like, oh man, I do that all the time. So I probably am a reptilian. But
Well, I don't know if that's where that came from.
no, I don't think that is where it came from, but that's what he thinks it came from.
All right, so you all know the story of Adam and Eve. And everything was wonderful and glorious
In the garden.
until Eve ate the apple. But it was the snake that, talked her into it. So there's like the first recording
Right.
of the lizard people manipulating humans.
Right.
Okay? So, yeah, since the dawn of man, they've been here.
Right.
Wow.
The found some things that they've been blamed for everything from 9/11 to the disappearance of Flight 370 to causing homosexuality.
Oh.
To causing it.
Yes.
Yeah, causing it.
No,
It's like-
come on.
yeah.
What if they're just trying to take care of us? What if? No. Because we're messing our planet up pretty good, so I don't think they're not doing anything to help, that's for sure.
Right. Unless they're looking for some extra warm climate,
Right.
and maybe their mechanisms for getting rid of us aren't going as fast as they need.
What if we are we're a machine, okay? We're a terraforming machine.
Right.
Slowest terraforming machine on the planet, obviously. So they have us here to do their bidding, and we're slowly turning the Earth into how their planet is, whatever galaxy they come from.
Right.
So they got us terraforming this into the perfect reptilian planet.
Yeah.
I don't know,
That
just
seems
throwing it out
plausible.
there.
Yeah.
Hey, it's no crazier than the theory of
Right.
reptilian people.
Yeah. So, seeing things here, Barack Obama, I think we already said that, Jack Nicholson, Scooby Doo, Nikola Tesla.
Wait, now someone's throwing Scooby-Doo into the mix.
So their reasoning for Scooby Doo is, according to his own series, Scooby Doo is actually descended from an ancient race of otherworldly Sumerian gods called the some word I can't pronounce, who communicated to their followers by taking the form of animals. But that group are also the same Mesopotamian deities who are actually early alien visitors. So,
And that makes Scooby-Doo an alien?
apparently.
Because he can kind of communicate with Shaggy?
Yeah.
I always thought that's just the weed.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet you whoever wrote that's one of the 12 million Americans that believe in this.
Probably. Now, here's one.
And if you just prescribe to this theory, yeah, we're not knocking you. We're
Right.
just discussing it. It's kind of relatively new for me, outside of seeing this in movies. First time I ever read some articles online about this.
Now, here's one I absolutely 100% can get behind. I don't see how anybody could disprove or say that he isn't actually a reptile. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Well, see, no, I heard he was more like an otter.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
An
More
otter.
like,
Okay.
Yeah,
I
there's a
haven't heard this
meme.
theory.
There's a meme online where they compare his face and an otter's face.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. He just,
Well, I'm okay with if Cumberbunch is.
Yeah.
Hey, he played Doctor Strange, Sherlock Holmes. I think he's cool. Now, yeah, so we're all looking up to him. He's in the Marvel movie now. What kind of messages is he sending us?
Right.
How are they using the media against us? That's
Right.
what I like to know. The internet. They created the internet. They had to, right?
Maybe they
Or it was Al Gore. One of the two, right?
well, unless he's a reptile.
There you go.
Well, I wonder if they're behind all of the whole Marvel thing. Everybody's getting into this, watching those movies, and it's just to give us hope that there are these heroes to protect us from these types of people. But that's only a false hope. And
See, we are in the Matrix then.
yeah,
Yeah, these wonderful movies that take that we watch that take us to different worlds and our imaginations open up. That's all we got. Because in reality, we're terraforming the planet into a wasteland for the reptilians.
yeah.
Yeah, it's an awesome theory I just came up with. What else you got there, Lish?
Well, I did find that they tend to use human fear and guilt and aggression as energy. I'm assuming energy for themselves, but so that's why we have a lot of
Holy crap.
wars and
Then
human
they're getting
genocide.
super powered right now,
Yeah.
right? With all the rioting and all the
Oh,
stuff
gosh,
going on,
yeah.
are they? They're getting powered up. What are they going to do with it?
Yeah, human genocide, the mass slaughter of animals, sexual perversions, which create highly charged negative energy, and that's kind of what they feed on, I guess. But so yeah, they want us to have wars and things like that, so they can continue to have domain over us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, there's a lot of negativity to feed off of.
Right.
Oh my gosh,
They are
yeah.
creating their perfect environment.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just little cattle for them. If they're not having, their way with us, they're drinking our blood or making us do their bidding.
Right.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I don't want that part of my brain. I'd rather just maybe we don't want to see what it really looks like.
So, if they take over a human, and the human doesn't know that the reptile's taken them over, can the reptile actually let the human in on all this? Is it like,
I don't know.
are there any things that people who are actually, part of this group, I'm thinking Transformers, was it Patrick Dempsey? He's the accountant that's there just to get the,
Oh, yeah.
help them out.
So maybe some that humans that actually want to be
Right,
ruled.
yeah.
Okay.
Wonder if there's groups of them hanging out and what powers are they given?
True. Okay, we got legend and lore of like vampires.
Yeah.
And they always have those little groupies that will do whatever the master says in hopes of being given that power.
Yep.
So maybe some of that, of those stories have come from the reptilian overlords. People like groveling at their feet, doing whatever they need, getting them blood or food in hopes of being given some power and money or whatever from, because I guess they got to control all the money in the world too.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there anything you guys found tying this to the Illuminati, or is that?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because this,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Nah.
Sounds very much Illuminati-ish, except that typically you don't think of the Illuminati as reptiles.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I just the Illuminati, the Round Table, the United Nations, they're all part of it. But they're part of like the global elite. And I think they tend to be like they did what are they called? Prison wardens, I think is what they were calling them. So they're the ones that are in charge of us, like
the Illuminati or the
well, I mean all of them.
Right.
They're part of like the global elite, so that they're controlling how things are coming about, and basically they want world domination. They want us all to be microchipped or something like that. I read that. Yeah. So there's that.
Well, aren't we kind of microchipped in a way? Everybody's walking around with their cell phones.
Right.
Literally, the government can know exactly where you are,
Right.
what you're looking at, who you're talking to. I'm assuming they can turn on the audio and the cam,
Yep.
the camera,
Sure.
and see what you're up to.
Yeah.
So they were able to microchip us without us really even knowing or understanding. We just
Right.
thought, oh my God, I have to have the latest Apple.
Right.
Yeah.
Same
Wonder if
with-
Steve Jobs was a lizard guy.
Same with
No,
our,
he died. He
Yeah,
was
it didn't work
empowered
out
to
so
live
well for
forever.
him.
Yeah.
Or what if they are almost like immortal to a point where they have to die and
Shed
shape
skin.
shift? Yeah, shed their skin, and then take on the shape of somebody else.
Right.
Because otherwise, we'd be like, wait a second, how is Steve Jobs 200 years old? It would
Right.
start to break the illusion.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the reptilian guy who played Steve Jobs
Right.
could be somebody else now.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Well, now we got a working theory here.
Right.
Guess we'll see what any latest technology gadgets start coming out from a different company. Maybe we'll realize that reptilian's over at that company now.
Google.
Google. The whole thing.
They're the overlords of everybody, anyways. So.
There you go. See, if you look at history and we blame, we have like the Illuminati, we got these secret societies, we got these satanic worshipers. In today's modern age, they had to evolve. So, number one, so they didn't get noticed, but yeah, so they just come. They're all Google.
Right.
We don't know any better because we love the internet. We love being able to find all this stuff online, and we just keep giving them data on ourselves.
Oh yeah.
And the reptilian overlords just keep feeding off of that. Oh my God, the negative energy on the internet. They just have probably their leaders plugged in.
Right.
And when trolls and haters are just typing in some of the worst vile stuff on the internet, it's just juicing, powering them right up.
Yep.
All right. Now we know where to find
I bet
it.
you they have to put filters on that, otherwise it would be too much all at once.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. What if the internet trolls are not trolls at all? They're reptilian, soldiers essentially, sent out to troll people, get them all fired up, so they get you all mad on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
You start hacking back, and all that energy that we could just get constantly making people angry, keeping them angry.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That could definitely work.
Okay. Now, so when we air this episode, and they know that we're on to them, what's going to happen to us? Just in case anybody's listening. This is February.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be crazy.
Or maybe they'll just leave us alone because they don't want to, cause any. They don't want to pull the veil back and.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, they'll just laugh it off.
Yeah.
They'll recommend the show.
Right.
Oh my God, these people are so funny. You should check them out.
Yep.
That way, it looks like
Right.
we're just a bunch of comedians. We didn't actually figure out their plan.
Right.
Through conversation.
Yep.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
They can tell people to check us out.
Right.
I'm having too much fun with this topic.
Yeah.
You could really come up with some scenarios for these lizard people. Now, anything else? We'll take a quick break, come back with our final thoughts and opinions. I have a few movie recommendations. All right, we'll be back.
It just doesn't feel like summer without an ice-cold Coca-Cola in your hand. Stop by your local convenience store today and grab a 20-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola or Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Or pick up even more delicious refreshment with a 20-ounce bottle of Diet Coke, Sprite, or Fanta. So no matter how you soak in that summer sun, at home or on the go, grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today and enjoy.
Fueled by tacos, beer, and Bloody Marys, the only show featuring baby Jesus with a nail gun, the pride of PA, and the show with the eye of the tiger, ladies and gentlemen, Punch Farm.
Hey, this is Mark from Punch Farm. I'm here with Mark Dose. Hello. I'm here with Alicia.
Hello.
I'm here with Nikki. Join us every Monday as we talk about life, tacos, beer, and movies. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and punchfarm.com.
Keep on punching!
And welcome back. Okay. So, during the break, you were mentioning something about alien abductions.
Yes. There are some people that, when they claim that they have been abducted by aliens, these aliens have a tendency to be more reptilian in shape, so that a lot of people think that maybe these are reptilian overlords. I don't know why they would, take you and then put you back on Earth with these kind of thoughts. Like that they took them. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, what if you look at alien abductions, Bigfoot, ghosts? What if? All right, so there's some people that maybe that block we talked about in the brain, or just stumbled upon something, or they're able to somehow they can see. So again, rather than just kill that person, they want to keep that cog in the wheel going.
Right.
Rather than kill them, we just need to do a little mind trick on them. So they make that person feel like they saw an alien and was abducted. They tell this crazy story, or no one's going to believe them. Or they're like, "Ah, shit, there's a hunter over there. I think he spotted me. Make yourself look like Bigfoot." Boom, they perpetuate the story of Bigfoot, but it's just them. And then that hunter's like, "Oh my God, I saw Bigfoot. Did you get a picture?" "No, it was weird." But it was actually the aliens out studying.
Right.
What else? Ghosts.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're messing around somewhere and you hear some weird noises. Maybe you stumbled upon the lizard men.
Right.
They give this illusion that they're ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
They scare you. You go running out, tell the story. Nobody believes you.
Right.
Okay.
And it is kind of funny listening to all the different theories through history that sound very similar. And it's like either there's a lot of, potentially crazy people across history, but the same stories, same basic concepts in multiple civilizations at the same time. It's like maybe there's a thread of truth to this. They're all experiencing it. And
Right. Well, I thought I came across some stuff that showed ancient Egyptian carvings, Aztec or Mayan carvings, and they all had some type of representation of this lizard man. So, that's going back, that's two different continents, long time ago.
Yep.
And yet they're telling the same story. Now, that's when it becomes a little bit like, okay, that's strange.
Right.
I wonder, what did they see?
Mm-hmm.
Why were they building pyramids in Egypt, pyramids in Mexico,
right?
Pyramids in Peru? What was it? The landing pads for the original lizard people that came down,
right?
Or did they get us to build them so more ships could come down? I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I know in the movie Stargate that wasn't the pyramids were like the landing platform.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I saw that somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Could be true.
Yep.
We did not debunk it.
That's for sure.
All we did was make up more conspiracy theories. Oh, any final thoughts?
No, I think I touched on everything I wanted to. So
awesome. Well, obviously, one movie that really uses this as a basis is John Carpenter's "They Live" with Rowdy Piper, or Rowdy Piper. I don't know. Rest in peace. I think he died a few years back. Professional wrestler. Then he got into acting, and I think this was like his first big movie.
Yeah.
And a John Carpenter movie to boot.
Right.
But it is about these overlords that have kind of a weird reptilian kind of thing going on. A little bit zombie-ish thing, too, with the look. And a group of people have developed some type of glasses that'll reveal.
Right.
All the billboards have sayings like obey. They don't say go buy a Snickers bar. They say obey.
Yep.
right.
And there's an awesome alley fight